They say it stalks the countryside, preying on defenseless animals. It only strikes at night and has an insatiable thirst for blood. It'll stop at nothing, even attacking humans to satisfy its needs.
I know what I saw, and it was a creature.
3 fingers. The first finger here was much larger than the rest of the fingers.
Long spines going down its back and a beetle-like head and little pointy teeth.
This is the only photograph of what Spanish Americans have christened the Chupacabras, or Goatsucker. AnimalX went to Tucson, Arizona to find out what struck fear into the heart of the Spanish community. Since the first reported encounter in Puerto Rico 3 years ago, sightings have increased dramatically, with some as far-flung as New York and even Moscow. Few have followed the Chupacabra's trail as closely as independent investigator Ted Lohman. The growing weight of evidence has turned the riddle of the Goatsucker into a personal obsession.
I've gone back into a number of reference books to see if there was something like this that I could refer to back in history. Could this spend years, possibly tens of years, or maybe even hundreds of years hibernating until something that we don't know awakens it, and then it finds itself trying to survive on a place that has really no recollection or no idea how to do that.
Whatever its origins, Chupacabras has become a byword for terror south of the border, where attacks are on the increase.
A woman from Mexico claims
this Mexican woman claims she was attacked by a Chupacabras after it went on a livestock killing rampage.
He grabbed me right here. He wouldn't let me go. I fought with him, but he wouldn't let me move my head.
The twin puncture marks first seen on animals said to be killed by the Goatsucker were found on this man after he says he was jumped by a Chupacabras along a darkened country road. In Puerto Rico, this kind of media coverage has aroused such fear among the general public that many are afraid to leave their homes at night. One local mayor has even organized a Chupacabras hunt. One of the most recent sightings was at this suburban Tucson home. A man claims the creature entered the house early one morning, passed through the kitchen, and sat on the bed of one of his young sons. He's convinced what his son saw was a Chupacabras.
And he described it that it had big red eyes and the ears and the beak, and it was the same thing that I had seen. Then I realized that we had it inside the house.
Tucson Police Department.
A police investigation into the incident found the son's description entirely consistent with previous sightings.
Any other distinguishing features? Large red eyes. I mean, we took the report as a true and real life sighting of some kind or activity and made a suspicious activity report on it. It said it was about 3 feet tall. It had long arms, no legs, had a beak, and bright red nose. And when they said that when the creature came into the house, it smelled kind of like a wet dog.
Jim Griffith is a folklore expert at the University of Arizona. He's been following the growing Chupacabras cult in the US and abroad since the first reported encounters. He agrees there's no logical explanation for the Goatsucker phenomenon.
Chupacabras have been seen all over the place, and there are a lot of people who absolutely believe that there are Chupacabrases. I think one school of thought feels that they're diabolic. Another school of thought feels that that they're mysterious animals.
For Joe Uria, the specter of the Chupacabra still haunts him more than 30 years after the day he came face to face with his worst nightmare. At play in the backyard of his Tucson home, Joe realized he was not alone.
I felt something looking at me. I turned around, saw this creature's head. First thing that ran in my mind was to go ahead and, Joe, you better run. And I did. And as I did, I kept looking at the creature. First thing that I saw was his eyes. And and then its head, and I noticed it didn't have any ears. And it looked like it was neither real tall or it was standing. And anyways, as it looked at me like a very, I don't know, like it wanted me to come over to him, like it seemed like he was the predator, I was the victim.
With the US media jumping on the bloodsucker bandwagon, there's more speculation than ever over the existence of the Chupacabras. Eyewitness accounts continue to pour in from around the globe, but is it anything more than the product of mass hysteria? Experts believe that the growing number of sightings makes the mystery of the Chupacabras impossible to ignore.
There has to be a reason behind the phenomena. I don't think that there is enough investigation on this animal yet to compile enough information to find out exactly where it comes from, where it lives, what's its purpose. Maybe in the future, if something is trapped or captured, then we'll be able to know.